This is our 2012 low-roof Fiat Ducato that we've been proud to call our home for the last 2 years. But what happens when you live in your vehicle and the engine stops working? This week, join us as we experience the thing all van lifers fear. So today we're borrowing somebody else's house, but this is still probably one of the most realistic van life videos you'll ever see.
This isn't the first time we've broken down. Breakdown number 1.
The clutch.
We'd known each other for about 4 weeks and Danni had already tried to woo me with her van, so we went away with it and we spent New Year's. We had an amazing time in Cornwall, and on the way back the van broke down on a roundabout, a very busy roundabout. So that was everybody's first experience of being towed. She got a new clutch, Danni figured out I'm cool as a cucumber, and we all broke our towing cherries. Breakdown number 2.
The drive belt. I had a new job which was a few counties away, and on my way back the drive belt snapped, so I lost all steering control. Basically had to pull into the nearest petrol station and get towed back home. Angela still had her flat at the time. I stayed with you for a while.
I'm pretty sure that you were so stressed out after that I had to take you on a mini summer holiday.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, so I said to Angela,
I've had enough of making decisions. I want you to take me on school, summer holiday style camping adventure.
We chucked a tent in the back of my car and we wild camped around Cornwall. It was a good escape. I think one of the reasons you were so stressed about it is because you just officially moved into the van and it broke down. Breakdown number 3.
The DPF. The third time we broke down, I had to go to work at my new job, which was about 3 hours away, and this time I took Angela with me for moral support because by this point I was absolutely traumatised by breaking down. We went to my office, we stayed nearby, and then the next day the van wouldn't start again because the DPF was playing up, as they apparently do on a lot of diesel vehicles.
DPF is a diesel particulate filter, and it's basically all part of the exhaust emissions being less bad for the environment.
We then had to get towed across, 6 counties, which meant that we had to get 3 different tow trucks. Angela still had her flat at the time. We stayed there until we got the van fixed. We had somebody clean out the DPF.
Every breakdown after this, I no longer had the flat. Breakdown number 4.
The drive belt again. We broke down on the M4, which is this quite busy motorway near London. We were driving in convoy that time because we had my car with us because we were selling it. We ended up getting towed to the road outside my office. We actually managed to get a mechanic to come out and deal with the van on the side of the road.
Breakdown number 5.
The DPF again. This time we broke down at a farm shop. The first tow truck that could come and get us couldn't come out until Monday morning.
And we were stuck in rural Devon by the sea, so we got a bus, went to the beach and had a lovely weekend. Breakdown number 6.
The DPF again.
We'd spent months and months trying to talk to mechanics about what we thought might be the underlying issues for why the DPF was playing up, and we basically got ignored because we're women, because of our vaginas.
And this time we were at my parents' and we ended up stuck at my parents' house. You know, as much as, we love my parents, we love being there, but we also love our own space.
When Danni's at home, at her family's house, her concept of distance gets really distorted. And if I suggest going to get supplies from a shop that's like 15 minutes away, she's like,
we're gonna go that far for supplies? That's too far, Angela.
And so I felt like a trapped bird.
I was used to living in a city for like 10 years, so the shop was just down the road.
I'm sorry, I can't excuse you for that.
That's okay, that's fair enough. The issue with the van was that one of the glow plugs was faulty, so it wasn't heating up enough for the DPF to do its thing, which is something that we didn't learn until quite a long time later, and we visited many different garages and mechanics trying to get it fixed, and every time the van would go into limp mode we'd just take it somewhere and get them to do a force regen on the DPF. It wasn't for like a whole year later that we actually managed to find a really experienced machinist who could machine out all of the glow plugs because they were totally rusted in and do some new threads for us and completely redo the glow plugs, and the DPF has been fine ever since, and that was like a year ago.
Hi there, Danni and Angela from the future. We thought we should address whose house we're actually staying in.
We're currently house sitting, which means that we're basically just looking after somebody's house and their dog. We like to house sit for 2 reasons. One, in the winter we don't get enough solar to charge both of our laptops constantly, and we both work full-time remotely from the van. The second reason is that we can't stand up in our van. So whilst we're saving for a new van, one that we can stand up in, house sitting from time to time gives us a bit of a break.
A bit of a break.
A bit of a break.
Yeah.
Back to the video.
We made it a year since our last breakdown, but it's happened. And we think it might be a big one.
We were going along and the engine light came up we got a message saying insufficient oil pressure. Then a bunch of other lights came up and I heard a and I felt it on the acceleration. There was this vibration, then a loss of power. So the power steering went, and then yeah, that was it. So we pulled up on the side of a random road in the middle of nowhere. It's like 1 degree outside.
This is the 7th time that we've broken down since we lived in the van, which we need to sort out.
We have some resemblance of a plan. We have a slapdash plan that involves a lot of moving parts that basically moves us from being completely stranded here in this lovely village in the middle of nowhere. And it also means we've got 2 weeks to sort this out.
Yeah.
Until we actually are homeless.
Yeah. We're waiting to hear what the garage have to say about the van. Stage 2 of the plan is we're in the middle of nowhere. We need some form of transport. We do actually have a car in London. It's been in London, abandoned on a street for a year.
Not on purpose.
No.
It was intended for other uses.
Yes.
But for circumstances outside of our control, it has been neglected. And it's covered in parrot poop, and it had 2 flat tyres.
Yes. So we did actually go into London a couple of weeks ago to start the process of Operation Car.
Bring back to life the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had to replace a lost key.
Yeah. So we've got a key for it already, which is great.
I'm going to go to London. I can work from London, I have friends in London, and also it's my car, so that's kind of my job to sort out. It means I need to get a taxi and then a train and then put the battery in the car and then get an Uber. I took the battery out because it was dead and I knew that we could charge it because we were in the van, but now we don't have the van, and when we left the van I took the car battery out and put it in a hiking bag. I had to carry it and charged it overnight last night. So I now have a fully charged car battery, which I have to travel with in my bag. Hopefully the car will start, and the car has an MOT booked in for tomorrow. Fingers crossed it passes.
Mm-hmm. If for whatever reason the van isn't fixed and we can't move back into the van, at least we'll have transport to get us to whether that's accommodation that we pay for or friends or family. We're not quite sure yet. It just leaves us in a better position. Simultaneously, whilst Angela is sorting out the car in London, I am going to be dealing with the garages here.
Shout out to our tow truck driver, Nathan. He made what was a stressful situation into an absolute delight. Such a genuinely nice guy. We spent however long it was that we were driving.
1 hour 40.
Just chatting endlessly, talking about our lives, our, the tough things, depression, mental health, family stuff, grief, games. We left that cab with a much more positive attitude, didn't we?
Yeah, Nathan, you're a great guy if you're watching this.
Yeah, and thanks for all the positivity, and we're sending it right back at you.
Let's get you
To the train station.
to the train station.
All right.
Sweetie, it's okay.
All right, yeah. What's the impact?
it's just not right. I think it's just done. I think it's a dead battery. Every time I try and turn the car over, it does some really odd things, like the back window wiper was coming on. I mean, now it's literally doing nothing. I'm absolutely knackered. Carrying that battery was harder than hiking any of the hikes I've ever done. It must be like 20 or 30 kilos. I'm really desperate for a wee. I can't have a wee, and it makes me sad. It makes me miss the van even more. Why do we move into a van? Well, not just so that we can have wees anytime we like, although it's really, really helpful. When we got together, Danny already had a van. We finished converting it together, and then one day Danny said, you know what, why don't we move in? And it was a huge leap. We'd only been dating for 6 months, but there was really nothing more appealing than reducing our sort of living footprint and having an adventure while saving money for a piece of land. Van life was the right choice for us. Even with all the setbacks that you can experience, it still feels right. It still feels like home. It still feels like an adventure. And yeah, I mean, we moved in together 6 months into our relationship and we're still together. So it was trial by fire, but worked out for us.
Angela has just phoned me and she's lugged that battery all the way to London and she's plugged it in and it's not working. But it just means that she's going to have to leave work early, go and get a new battery, which is like an hour away from the office, and then the MOT is booked for 4:20. So she just needs to make it in time to put the battery in and get to the MOT, which is literally around the corner. Angela is going to go to some of our friends and they're Greek, so I'm sure she's going to be very well hosted and looked after. And in the meantime, I have got the company of lovely Parsnip. Don't you just love that name? It's a grade 2 listed building and I think I'm going to be a little bit scared tonight without Angela here.
I'm heading to the office. I just need to get the Victoria southbound.
Hi Chris, it's Danni with the Fiat Ducato.
Oh yeah, you alright?
Yeah, fine, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, the Cambelt snap and engine. Need you open all engine because the damage the valve head. I need you open the engine inside.
Yeah.
And rebuilding.
Okay.
First one, I'm sending you quotation, yeah? And you see, I'm sending today.
Okay.
It's okay?
That would be great, thank you.
Alright then. Speak after the 1 o'clock, yeah?
Yeah, alright.
Alright then. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
See
Thanks.
you. Valve head. Bugger, I've got a meeting. I'm going to have to look at this after. Sounds expensive anyway.
For your own safety.
Ooh, peanut butter face.
Hey.
Hey.
I've left now. I've left the office. I'm just walking around to Westminster to get the Jubilee across, and then I can get off more or less like right next to the Halfords, and then I'll get an Uber down to the car. But I'm ahead of schedule, so yeah, should have plenty of time.
Okay, that's really good.
This train has 10 coaches.
I've just got a quote back from the garage and it's not ideal, but it's not as bad as we thought. They can rebuild the engine. It just needs to have, I'll list out the things that are in the quote here. It's really good actually. It's come through like online like estimate and then you can approve the estimate. A Cambelt kit, engine head, head gasket, 16 valve and seal, oil filters, injector seal set, 1 camshaft, 4 injectors, and then labour. It's come to £2,500. So it's not as bad as what we thought.
Oh my god, lights are on. Oh my god, don't go for that! Yes! So I took the car for its MOT and it passed. Yay! It is now officially roadworthy. Then I drove as fast as I could back to Danni. I'm so tired and I'm bleeding from my vagina. So we have a working vehicle. This whole experience has really highlighted that if you're in a situation where you can keep a vehicle when you move into your van for emergency situations, then do it. This was not something that we actually thought we were going to do at first. We thought we were going to sell both of our vehicles and just go all in on the van. But our friends and our family advised us very wisely to keep a vehicle just in case, and it's really saved our skin this time round. So for those of you who are thinking or just about to move into a van and you've got 1 or 2 cars before you make the plunge, think about how you might be able to keep it just for those emergency situations. If you can, leave it in a situation where it will be run every now and then so you don't have to deal with dead batteries, but yeah, just having that vehicle, even though we had to do a couple of bits to fix it up, has really helped us out.
So we've spoken about all of our breakdowns so far,
Of which there are many.
This is the first time though that we've actually been able to just outright afford to pay for the fixes.
As soon as you're in a position where you can actually put some money aside, do it, because emergency repairs are guaranteed.
If there's anything wrong with your van that you know about and you have the finances and are able to fix it before it gets cold, just do it.
Breaking down the summer for us actually has turned into some quite nice experiences, which we would not have if it was winter in the UK and, you know, there was snow and rain and just general cold.
Yeah. Because at least in the summer as well, if you are having to be stationary in one place because the van won't move, at least you're getting solar.
Yeah.
In the winter, that's not the case.
Yeah. Your solar's reduced massively. So we know what is needed for our van to get back on the road.
Chris from the garage has said that he is 99% sure that the van is going to be ready by the time we need to leave this house. He said 10 working days to get it fixed. Fingers crossed that there's going to be no complications, that nothing extra is going to be needed to be done, and it all just goes smoothly and that we have our van back. So hopefully in the next video we will have our van back, but we'll see.
Yeah, see you next time.